Greetings everyone. Hey, a warm welcome to you all. Thanks for joining me for this video. Leo the Lion, this is your April video. For this month we are going to be looking into a slightly different layout. We'll use 4 of these, the Morgan Greer, and then some from this lot over here. There's 4 different decks, and depending on how I kind of feel will depend on the cards that we use as clarifiers for the Morgan Greer. As we move into April, we come to a month that has quite a lot of activity planetary wise. There's quite a few retrogrades going on, and we will have been coming out of the March energy, and I think we can all say it has been March madness, or beware the Ides of March. We've just had a supermoon as well in March, which has also been quite powerful. Most of you will know there were the terrible terrorist shootings in Christchurch of New Zealand, and that has gone into kind of a global sphere of compassionate love and trying to come to the terms of equality and balance around the situation that happened. So I think we can glean a lesson from that from every negative there is a positive. It's kind of like everything in life. Where there is one, there will always be the other. So there's always opposites happening. So we managed to globally help turn this event around into a far more positive event. Not that that dismisses the tragedy of the loss of 50 innocent lives. But anyhow, let's get into the reading and start with these 4 cards. And as we do that, just briefly for you, I have actually done some shuffling beforehand, but just while I'm doing a little bit of brief shuffling here for you, some of these astrological events for April. On the 5th of April, we have a new moon in Aries, so we do go into the Aries energy, and again, that can be quite turbulent energy. I'm an Aries myself, so we work from the Mars energy, which can be known as the warrior energy. Then we go on the 10th of April, we go into Jupiter, goes retrograde in Sagittarius. That's another fire sign showing up with a bit of energy. On the 19th of April, we have a full moon in Libra, and it's the second full moon in Libra, which is a little bit unusual. The 20th of April, we see Taurus come in, and on the 24th of April, Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn, and on the 29th of April, Saturn goes retrograde in Capricorn. So April still isn't going to see us in full positive swing. We're still going to have a feeling of revisiting old thoughts, feelings, energies, possibly also people and situations in our lives. So sometimes it's like you get a feeling that you've been dealing with a situation and waiting for it to move on, and you're making progress, and then all of a sudden it's back to square one, and you go, well, wait a minute, how did that happen? So the planets and what they're doing do have a big impact in our life on events around us, and whether or not they're moving forward or we're able to move out of them. So Leo, just a bit more focus here for you on these cards. This is for Leo for April. Okay, so while I was doing that, a few sort of thoughts came to mind here, and I don't know what it is that's making me think about this, but it has something to do with the lips. So some of you might literally be having something done on your lips in around April. Oh, and the other thing is, I'm noticing that as these videos get uploaded, they are pretty much taking active, energy as of right now. So whenever you start watching this video is when it could be activated for you. And also remember too that April is the month of Easter, and I can often note that I feel this really powerful thinning of the veils around this time, because we have a lot of energies such as the Ascended Masters. We get the Christ white light coming down to the planet, and these are times when we can very easily become more aware of spiritual energy around us. We can become more psychic ourselves. We can feel more connected to our past over loved ones as well. But coming back to your guys' lips, yes, some of you could be getting things done to your lips, like operations, or you might even be having like fillers or things put in, re-enhancement or shaping. Some of you might be getting problems that were on your lips seen to, whether they were cold sores or like lip impediments or speech impediments. Some of you may even go further into the mouth. It might be like getting braces on or having implants or bridges put in or false teeth, something along those lines. And then of course it can extend itself out to talking as well. So let's see what your first card is. The Eight of Wands. I like the Eight of Wands. There's a lot of hidden meaning behind it, but we'll get to that as we run through it. The Two of Pentacles. The Two of Swords, so a couple of twos coming in here. And the Knight of Rods, that's your energy, Leo. Aries, I was going to say. So, no major arcanas from this first deck, but I do use a couple of other decks that, like this one, the John Holland, that can potentially have some major arcanas turn up. So each one of these is going to get clarifiers under it so that we can establish what more they're talking to us about. So actually I'll move them out a bit further because they need more room. So the Eight of Wands is traditionally a very active card. It's a fast-paced card. It means go, 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 which is often what the Leo energy can be like. It can represent the ability to travel somewhere, and it can be by air because it's such a fast-looking card, and those wands are coming to us through the air. This can be a sign of air travel. So some of you may be planning trips away in the month of April or even from late March on. And this can be overseas and it can be by plane. So it can also relate to fast changes coming in our creative sector. So for some of you, this could be around your work or your work, your ideas, your hobbies, your passions. It has also traditionally been known as a card that could indicate a romance coming on board. So things like new people around you. And again, this doesn't have to be just romance. It can be just amazing new friends, new communities. And this could be because you're perhaps traveling for work as well as pure personal interest, and that you meet people through workspaces or ideas or places. Some of you could be attending like overseas forums or events where there are speaking, and that's where the lips can come to mind too. So that you could be attending conferences and things like that where there's a lot of talking that goes on. Some of you may be giving talks, or that you're just going along to listen to them. So let's see a clarifier for us on this Eight of Wands. This is for Leo, wanting a bit of clarifying on the Eight of Wands. And what message are you giving us here? I also thought we might have seen a lion come through the cards for you guys. It sometimes happens for Leo. I'm not sure why, but let's just see. Oh, with two of them popped out kind of on top of each other. So there's the sacral chakra here, which is very much the area of the body which is about creativity and passion and ideas that come through. So it's kind of like in the lower abdomen area. It is the seat of creativity, especially for women. The conflict and defeat is not such a nice card. It's a card of definitely words and communication and talking, but often it's about conflict, that we've been arguing with someone or trying to win an acquisition or a certain direction about a subject, or wanting our way to be had. Now, when this card turns up, I always say to people, this is a warning for you, so take heed of it, that there is something around you that is brewing, and it is often with friends or work colleagues or family members, and there's going to be some sort of debate that gets a bit out of control. So what this card is a forewarning of is to choose your words carefully and choose what's worth fighting about and what's worth walking away. Now, these people in the background look like shadowy figures, but these are the ones that often leave your life for good when this card is around. So if there's someone that you think is annoying you, you know, like they're grating on your nerves for some reason, but you don't really want to say goodbye to them for good, then think twice about this. Perhaps just avoid having this conflict, or avoid having to get your message across. But if it's something that does need changing, like perhaps rules that need to be formatted around the structure of, say, within a business or co-workers or employees, then yes, go ahead and do it, but do it in a way that isn't offensive and doesn't, make it derogatory for others to hear. The sacral chakra, since they both popped out, and you'll notice that they share very similar colour palette. So these two cards could be relating to a very similar message for you. Oh, and it's another 2. So you've got 3 2s coming in this reading. Now 2s are usually about balance, cooperation. You're balancing situations and people and relationships. So there's so much orange and yellow going on in here that these areas of your body right at this moment could need a little bit of adjustment. They could need opening up, and they could need balancing. So think about that in terms of releasing energy or pent-up emotions around this area of you. And these could be relaying themselves as anger or frustration, or feeling like something is stagnant, or that you're not getting your own way, or that people aren't seeing your side of the story. So there are ways of dealing with this at the physical end from your own self that will help get creativity or free-flowing movement going again. So doing some really powerful core exercises, going for some good walks, or even doing a bit of running. Some really powerful yoga strengthening back and core exercises could be important. Also eating, drinking these type of foods that have this color system in them. Do a bit of meditation, spend some time outdoors, and think how you would like to get this blockage moved on, or how you would like to put these words across to people, the best way possible. So since we've already had 2 of those jump out, I'll just do one more, and I'll do one of these angel cards just as a final clarifier here for Leo to see what it is that we can just sign this column off on. So what's the last thing that you could tell Leo here about this situation? A way to sort of balance it, I think, would be a good idea. So this is for Leo, last clarifier for this column. Okay. Trust. To have trust in something, whether it's trust in yourself or the situation, or also what other people are saying. Have a bit of faith and trust that sometimes what they have, input that they have to put in, could be valuable and, worth understanding or listening to. You'll see the depictions there of the white light, and we talked about that a little bit earlier. There are some beautiful animals that have come in the background. We see some deer and butterfly, some amethyst crystals, which could be beneficial for you guys just for bringing in some peace. But have some trust that the situation, if there is one that does arise around you in this month, could be healed with some, really positive white light energy, or with some peace and calm, or with some ability to hear or talk with more, openness or calmness. I think that's a nice way to finish off that column. It's given us a lot of that beautiful white light energy that we did talk about. So we come up here to our second number 2 of the 3 2s that we've already got. This card is, he's kind of like a juggler in life. So again, he feels things coming and going. So this month could be a bit of an up and down one for you guys. That's what I'm thinking, especially when I see this card. We see a boat in the background. So we're still on this possibility of travel or movement. Travel can sometimes not necessarily be literal or physical. It may be that it is more metaphysical. You're traveling from one situation to another, or one paradigm, or one set of energies to another. With this card in particular, I often find that there is the potential for a job interview to be had, and sometimes it is a job that relates to overseas one way or another. So possibly attending an interview away from where you live, or the job may take you traveling or be overseas. And of course, for some of you, boating may be part of this picture of this month, whether or not you are going on a boat or you own a boat, whether you are involved in some sort of yachting adventure or racing on boats. The juggler is juggling things in life, and he has a little bit of a, a skeptical or worried look on his face, because I think he is trying to balance finances in particular. So during the month we can see coming and going of money. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of an increase, which could be a small thing that comes to you via ways of inheritance or a small windfall. You might play the lotto and win, $30 or $19. And there's also other times where you might get an unexpected bill come in. Now, sometimes I think of things like cars that need fixing. So your car could have an unexpected cost. New tyres, for instance, or it doesn't pass its registration or warrant and you have to get something done there. Check your water in your cars. Make sure they're not overheating. And your oil, give it an oil change, actually, would be a good thing. So keep a little bit aside in this month, keep a bit of money aside, and yes, there's potential here for possibly new job opportunities. And for some of you thinking of businesses or starting a business, this card also can give us feelings and thoughts of that type of realm as well, and contemplating it. So let's see what a clarifier is going to be from this energy deck. Okay, this is for Leo, clarifier for the Two of Pentacles. Clarifier for the Two of Pentacles. One more. Wow, first chakra, Archangel Michael. So interestingly enough, and I've done a few of the readings for the month now, none of the other chakra cards from either of the decks came out, but you guys have got two already. You've got the sacral chakra and the first chakra with Michael here. So this is the first down here, and the second, which was the first one you had, is this area here of the body. So we talked a little bit briefly in the beginning about this feeling of high vibrational energies coming onto the planet for April. Michael is one of the archangels that is often giving out this positive energy source. So he is available to call upon if there is any angst or stress or things that you feel you need a little bit of help with. Now, he's a very good protector. So if any of you feel the need for protection around you, and as I said, I feel like this video is going to be very active right from when you view it. So if there's something going on that you've been involved in that needed the feeling of protection around you, call upon it right now. Now, because the planet is quite agitated and there's a lot going on, both with humans and geographically, and with Gaia herself, these archangel vibrational energies are already really overloaded. So there are other angelic realms or high vibrational energies you can call on for support and protection. Some of these are the unknown angels. So there's thousands and thousands of them, tens of thousands, literally waiting to assist you in supporting things that you need in your daily life. Until you ask for help, you will not receive it. It's the same, it's that old analogy, ask and you shall receive. So it works at every single level of life, not just the physical, but the things that you cannot see either. So be prepared to ask in this month of April coming up for the things that you need and want. The other thing is that this first chakra really represents this area of the body. So again, there's a potentiality here for some sort of blockage or stagnation or stalemate. Now this area represents our finances and our home, and it represents our tribal energy, the connection to all that. It also represents that part of the body, so the back, the spine, the hips, the thighs, those type of things. So some of you may be feeling stiff or sore in these areas of your body. You may have like operations that need to be done or manipulation. Go and get a really good massage this month, you guys. I think it would benefit your, you know, your thoracic part of your body all through here. And it will help free up ideas, it will help free up stiffness or sore joints. It could help creativity and surge a little bit of passion back into these areas of your life. So if any of you have had this like a problem with your money, which is what the Two of Pentacles can sometimes suggest, that there's this coming and going, or feeling as though there's not enough, or wanting a little bit more from things. So, you know, you might have wanted a better job offer, or you might have been wanting a promotion, or you might have been waiting for money to come in from somewhere and it's not. So a person who said they would pay back a loan or pay their monthly bill or their rental, you know, or their grocery money towards the flat, anything like that might be stagnating or be falling behind. This is where these messages are all tying in together, and you guys need to really activate it to get the flow back again. So I do feel as though money is in and out, and I've got the feeling earlier I said you'll be an up and down month. If you really activate this, get it flowing again, allow the energy to come in right from the top and down, and also from down and up, and clear any blockages, you'll feel much more free flow around all of those paradigms and money as well. So with that in mind, let's do a John Holland and see, as a final clarifier, what are they trying to tell us? What are they wanting us to support this other message with? So this is for Leo, clarifying the first chakra and the Two of Pentacles for Leo. Okay. Yay, yay. See, that's a really good one. After what we've talked about, and if you do some of those things, your prosperity will continue for some of you who are already in a good financial position. But this is the offer of the financial gains or financial newness. This really represents the Ace of Pentacles, because this is a Pentacles card, and that's the number one. It represents the Ace. So prosperity begins after what I've told you about the ways to make the changes and, you know, focus on freeing up any stiffness or lack. You will get the prosperity coming in. So there's a little bit of work for you to do if you are a little bit stuck, and then focus on this here, on the prosperity, on the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel for quite a lot of you there is a possibility of a new job offer, and I think if you attend an interview, a lot of you will have the success and the offer of a job. Some of you, it could be moving away from where you live, so moving to a different state. For some of you, it could be moving to a different country, if not moving to a different company at least, and it could involve travel. Yeah, I feel if you clear up this and free flow this energy, think positively about it, do some physical work on it, do some physical energy around that part of you, you will feel the prosperity coming in. I think there's movement, there's activation of movement. So that's a brilliant card and a great one to finish on there for you guys. With this next one, we see the Two of Swords, and she sits there with a little bit of, oh wow, you know, which way do I go, left or right? And we notice the moon in the background. We've just had a supermoon in March on the 22nd, which has really been quite powerful. So the moon there could be representative of cycles for you guys that could play an importance. And that could be the new moon. It could be relating to the eclipses that were back in February, but it could also be relating to the July eclipses coming up. So it feels as though you're at a crossroads and you either cannot see the way clearly because obviously she's blindfolded, or you're just having a little bit of a quandary as to which option to take. The card often does represent the fact that there are choices for us. So there's a possibility here that you are contemplating which choice to make. So we will do some clarifiers for those to see what else can help us with. Sometimes it's about using your logic, because she can't actually see the way forward, so she's got to think about it. She has to spend some time and energy making a wise decision. So this can be really helpful time to write down lists like, what would happen if I pick option A? What would happen if I pick option B? And then write the pros and cons for each. And as you do that, you quite often find a very clear decision. One seems better than the other, and then that helps you to make an appropriate decision. So I'll come back to this one here and see what it is that we are asking for clarity or clarification with this Two of Swords for Leo. What more can you tell us? Sometimes, you know, the swords have a lot to do with communication. So sometimes this can be either verbal communication or written documentation. Some of you may have had a contract handed to you or will have, and you think, is it quite what I want or not? Some of you, it could be about legal documents that you have to sign and you're pondering, do I sign these or not? Or have they been fairly written up? Do they need changing? So there's a lot of different things, because of course, remember, this is a general reading. Okay. Yeah, you know, we're coming back again to this. Wow, didn't I say we were going to have an up and down month, Leo? So what's going on? We've got this prosperity begins over here, the Ace of Pentacles, and then boom, we've got this back again. I don't know. I don't have an answer here because it's a little bit odd. Oh, are we back to the Two of Pentacles where we had this money coming and going? So unexpected bills that turn up. So you get a little bit of money come in, you might get a pay rise, you might have a slight windfall, you might get this better opportunity, a job offer perhaps. Just remember, it is just the beginning of the prosperity. So sometimes this takes plans and actions, and it doesn't mean it happens all at once. So it's a great card, but it's a card in working, right? So those are wonderful altogether, and then we get this. So again, it makes me think of unexpected expenditures. A bill that crops up, or maybe there's a family issue and you have to loan someone a bit of money, or you have to put some money in to finance something or support someone, or you forgot about a bill from a past holiday that turns up on your Visa card, or you've had a restriction maybe put on, or you applied for a loan and it hasn't come through when it should have, or it was less than you expected. We still need some more clarification here. Yeah, I think you're just going to have to go with the flow. You know, when the good energies are around for you guys in the month, utilize them. And when the ones that are more subdued are around, go back and rethink your steps, re-strategize. And that's what the twos are about, bringing in this balance. Okay, so what more do we need to know here? In the near future? Well, I guess that's fine. I can't say a lot more about it. It's clearly telling us something. All of this fits in here, doesn't it? Not the right time, in the near future, financial constraints, pondering. That whole row has given us a feeling of not knowing, and that's why she feels like that. There's a timing thing going on here for you. Whatever is causing this situation, and for some of you it could have to do with like contracts or signing something or getting something in writing or communicating something, it appears I wouldn't do it right now. It's like you've really got to think hard about this. It's saying maybe in the near future the timing's not right, because it could bring about financial constraints if you go ahead to do this or to make this decision. And I know I said there's choices here, so it's almost like just be really careful about one of these choices you guys are making, because there's something that needs to be put off, or you haven't quite got all the information, or perhaps don't do it at all. It's really interesting, isn't it? Let's come to this one, the Knight of Rods. It really does embellish your own energy. The Knights turn up generally when something has already started, because the pages started off and the Knights carry it on. They're still quite passionate about it and quite excited, and it's often in terms of creative power, passion, activity, activation. So creativity is often in our work area. If we're not working, it can be in our studying area or our passions or our hobbies. So you're looking into the future, and they've got the dragon on the top of your head. He's like fired up and ready to go. I can see that the oak leaves kind of look like spring as well. So it's kind of like new growth coming. There's desire, there's ability, you're seeking forward, you're planning things for the future. It could also represent someone like yourself, another fire sign person who comes in, who might be youngish. This can be representative of a possible, like romance or something where it's quite fast and furious, where you find this attraction or ideals that you're really keen or eager about. So someone around you you might find them to be fun, invigorating, their ideas great. So again, this could be a work colleague that turns up new on the scene possibly, and brings passion to your working environment and also to your ideas. And it might be a collaborative situation where there's a group of you that work together, or this person helps to stimulate ideas, and you put something forward, or it goes into a moving action. So that's a lot of what the Knight of Rods can represent, but it can also be yourself representing this particular energy force as well. So you might, as the month moves on, find yourself feeling into this energy and going, yeah, wow, this is really great. I'm excited about this. So let's see what these cards are going to give for us right now in regards to a clarifier for the Knight of Rods. So what is it here that you'd like to tell Leo? For some of you, if this is about a passionate romantic thing, which it can be, this guy here can often come and go in a hurry. So he can like walk in, set your life on fire, and you can be all, wow, it's so exciting. But he sometimes doesn't stay. He's a shaker and a mover, and he sometimes just moves on out the door again, and you don't necessarily see it coming. Now, he can also be like that in a workplace as well. So he might be brought in for a very short time, make a whole lot of changes, bring about some great ideas, then boof, he's gone again. But it's generally really great energy, it's good fun, it changes the direction of stuff, it creates passion and fire. So what is this card? No. Well, it just null and voids everything I just said, doesn't it? See how we're getting quite a few, we had this beautiful one over here, trust, but from here on in we've been getting some warning cards that have said, think about things, guys, make some changes, make some different plans. Perhaps if it was a romantic thing that we were talking about here, and you guys are really looking for romance, and you're thinking, is this the person for me? Is this the long-term partner? No. You might meet him this month or coming up, and he might be around for a while, but he generally does like his freedom in particular, and he can be really, well, he's rather appealing with all his energy and everything else, but he does possibly want to go on. Failing that, the other way to look at that message that came in was, I had just finished saying he might move on and he might not stay, and that said no, he might stay. Let's just shuffle again. We're not getting, the messages are quite, what I would say, they're not clear, they're ambiguous. They're very ambiguous messages in your reading for this month. Give us a little more about this no, guys. What do you mean by no? Do you not trust him? Is it that what I was saying was wrong? Let's have a look. Yeah, well, you know, that's two very strong messages. No and reconsider. So it's like reconsider something about him, about this Knight of Rods. The situation will improve. Well, we're not stopping at these cards that just aren't really giving us enough depth. And what I do like you guys to do too is when these cards flip over, whatever comes to mind for you at your end, go with it as well, right? So this is when you have to trust your gut instinct and trust what is being said, because the trust card was one of the first that came out, and it's really powerful and really insightful. And it could be that you guys have to trust what you feel the meaning of these are, right? Because they're definitely saying there's something about, to me, this guy here that was not that. There's either something he's doing or saying that perhaps is not quite right, and that we need to reconsider his direction or actions. He's getting a no, but it will improve if he perhaps changes and reconsiders things. Now just remember, this could be yourself as well. So these could be messages for you for this whole month about reconsider strategies or things that you were going to do or directions you were going to take. There's a no on board here about something. It will improve after perhaps reconsidering. So it could have to do with yourselves or someone, another fire sign. But I'm still looking here. Okay. This is the final clarifier for this one. Okay, so that really represents the Nine of Swords, and it says suffering in silence. So, yeah, I mean, what can we say? The Nine of Swords can represent feeling a little bit anxious and a little bit not knowing which way to go in a certain set of circumstances. I think for you guys, April might be a little bit discombobulating. And we've seen that when I mentioned the planets at the very beginning. I think you've got a lot of choices that are going on. You've certainly got a lot of activity up here in the very beginning, and you had a lot of, well, you had the possibility of a situation with people or groups of people where there might have been a time where you shouldn't have perhaps spoken up, and it said to trust something, either yourself or a situation, or have faith, you know, in the overall cosmic energies. We came here, we definitely saw some prosperity and some energy and some light, and they were talking to you about your physical body, the lower chakras, and calling in on Archangel Michael if some of you need it. You, with this one here, we got told about timing, not the right time, in the near future, so put something on hold. And also this financial constraints came back, and you're pondering which direction or how to make a decision around something. You really need to work on that one, whatever it is you're thinking about. And then with this one here, we had a whole bunch of like, hold on, not the right timing again, reconsider. You're getting all these messages, and to be fair, I don't normally see that many come up so often. So there's a whole bunch of timing things in this month for you, and they're asking you to reconsider a whole bunch of different perspectives about situations for yourself. Now again, because this is a broad reading, you'll all be looking at this from a different perspective, but overall it's a month to slow things down, ponder them carefully, make sure you are selectively being intelligent about any choices you make, including new people that you bring into your life, and take the time to make good logical decisions. I do feel as though there is the possibility of a job offer. Make sure that that job offer is one that you really do think you want and that suits your future ideas, and also where and how you would end up being within this job. This card does represent a little bit of anxiety and worry, and it can come to us at night and in our dreams. You might find some answers in dreams, and you might also find that you have a period of insomnia, and that could be to do with planetary lineups as well. So I think you went from such a powerful reading in the month of March that often when we get such highs, we come down. We have to go through a period of a little bit more grounded, logical behavior. And I said that at the beginning. I said there is always an opposite to everything. And you guys had that massive reading last month. And this reading is more about taking stock, taking inventory of the way things are going, the people you are dealing with, the situations that are being offered to you, how you choose to spend your money, and how other people are possibly wanting to spend your money too. But the final card here, the 9, is just saying, make sure you feel comfortable. Like, don't allow your decisions to put you in a place where it takes you to anxiety or feeling discombobulated or alone, or as if you haven't got your roots, you know. So think twice about that. I think for just, it's a really valuable reading because it offers you insights into helping prevent making mistakes as the month goes on and making wrong choices. But I think perhaps we will just finish off with one more card and see if we can get an overall message for Leo for what might be just one overall message for them for the month. What would you like to tell them? One more. That one and that one represent very similar energies again, all tied up. And I think for the month of April, you probably do just need to nurture yourself, look after yourself, pay homage to peacefulness, seeking answers from within, spending a bit of time contemplating what your future plans are for the rest of the year, for your birthday energies as they start to come up. You know, make a little bit of a list about how you want your year to continue, what your goals, dreams and aspirations are, the things that you would like to avoid. Make a list of those as well so that you've got an idea in your mind. Seek to focus on the positives. Seek to focus on knowing that you can trust the universe to deliver you the things that you want, and that you do have celestial helpers. And ask for help when you feel the need. Don't forget about that. Remember to think and understand that the situation always improves. Sometimes we get dealt things that we need to slow down and reconsider and take a different viewpoint and a different perspective from. Remember too that you did have some prosperity coming, and that it's the beginning of a journey if you choose to uplift it, and that timing wise there are things planned for further ahead. So I think April could be a month of redefining, re-energizing, refocusing, and thinking things through. So there we are, Leo. That one was, yeah, I think informative, and I think it's really good for you to take the time to have a quieter month for a lot of you and just re-strategize, think it through, bring some new ideas in, and listen to the messages that the universe is telling you. So hey guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Check your moon and rising signs because you might find some valuable information there as well. And please sub the channel and push the notification button. That way you will get the notifications every time I upload a new video. So have a great April ahead. Be prepared for a little bit of due diligence and a little bit of extra work. It's one of those hard work months, I think, and we all get them. So it's a valuable learning tool to have this information. Forewarned is forearmed, and information like this can be extremely pertinent, useful and valuable. Hey, thanks guys. Take care. Have a wonderful April. Much love. Namaste.